62, 64, 128.
Somebody else signed out here.
Good evening, everybody. Is that better? The Historical Society wants to thank everybody for coming tonight and welcome you to our program. I have a couple of announcements to make, and on Monday, April 4th at 7 o'clock at the Clinton County Historical Association is going to have a program at their museum on the old base, and the program is called Adirondack Ice, and it's a book by Caperton, and the last name is Tissot, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And it's about ice industries, transportation, recreation, and accidents that all play a major role in North Country history. And I would think that probably will have a connection to up here in North Country. This year begins the commemoration of the sesquicentennial, or the 150th anniversary of the Civil War. The National Park Service has included Rouses Point Sportsman's Pier, formerly known as Steamboat Landing, on the National Underground Railroad Network to Freedom, recognizing the pier as a significant stop on the Champlain line of the Underground Railroad. On Sunday, the 10th of April at 2 o'clock, here at the Legion, the Historical Society, Donna Racine, our village historian, and the North Country Underground Railroad Historical Association are sponsoring the dedication of a wayside exhibit and an interpretive panel honoring Steamboat Landing, known today as Sportsman's Pier. There will be guest speakers, entertainment, and revealing of the panel, and light refreshments, and obviously a cash bar. You can watch for other sesquicentennial events in the area in your local papers and posters and whatever. It's a very important time in our history of our country. On Wednesday, the 20th of April, 6:30, here again at the Legion, Bob St. John, commander and post historian, is going to share the research he's done on the Army Post 912 and the area veterans. Be sure to check out our beautiful quilt and get your tickets. The drawing will be after Dr. Southwick does his presentation tonight. And it was made by Carol Meyer from Fiber Junction, and it's beautiful. Refreshments will be served after the presentation. And we want to thank the Legion, especially for this beautiful room and all the work that they've done on their the Legion home, and for having us, enabling us to come and be able to do our programs here. It's very important to us. We're very honored to have Dr. Southwick with us tonight to share his life experiences and his collection of Civil War pictures and letters. Dr. Southwick has given me a challenge to read the doctor's writing. He graduated from Champlain Central in 1950 and Pittsburgh Shadyside Academy in 1951, Yale University in 1955, New York Medical College in 1959, did his internship at Waterbury Hospital in 1959 to 1960, served in the U.S. Army 1960 to 62, did his residency at Waterbury 1962 to 1963, and joined the North Country Middle Group and was there from 1963 to 2004. How do you say who Dr. Southwick is? He's a doctor, he's a neighbor, he's a husband, he's a father, he's a grandfather, and especially he's been a good friend to all of us here in the North Country. So, Dr. Southwick.
Looking around to see if there's really friends here tonight. I heard, and I've told this to a few people, there are going to be some hecklers, but I'm also full of other people. I've got my own bouncers on board, so my plan tonight, first of all, thank you, Jerry. Thanks for inviting me. This may be more fun for me than the rest of you, but so be it. My plan tonight is to speak about 3 different topics. The first is to read excerpts from 30 to 60 letters that James Lucas wrote to his mother, brothers, and sister during the Civil War. Second, pay tribute to the North Country physicians that I either knew or heard about and who practiced in the early 1900s. These are from Moore's Forks, Alabama, Champlain, Rouses Point, and where? And every place around. At first, I was going to start out with my military experience. That would be the third topic. But my chief consultant said, start with the Civil War letters. People are here just mainly for that. So I will do that. First of all, let me acknowledge with great gratitude the work of one Kimberly LeMay. Kimberly LeMay, grandfather is Joe Dubois. Not many people in this room that know Joe Dubois. But Kimberly did an excellent job. She took the 60 letters and actually interpreted it. And it does require interpretation. James Lucas wrote worse than I did. So she had a job. And believe me, she's done a marvelous job. She's right now doing a doctorate on World War I. And she was able to, last year, interview the last surviving veteran of World War I. You know, he just died. So she was able to interview him and said he was very alert, and very cooperative, and got a lot of information. What I've done is taken 20 of these letters, and I will read certain parts of them, not the whole letter, to give you an idea about what he was thinking, what he was doing, and where he was. The first letter was from Alexandria, October 23rd. And you will notice I said to his mother, his brothers, and his sister. He never once wrote to his father. And we figured out that James left the farm, and his father was not too happy that he volunteered for the army and didn't stay on the farm. Maybe wrong. Anyway, first letter is October 23rd, 1862. Dear Mother, I write these few lines to let you know I'm so well and I like this place. We started from Fonda, New York. By the way, he was in the 152nd Regiment of New York Volunteers. He said, we started from Fonda on Saturday night, got to New York Sunday morning, and stayed there until Monday noon. Then started for Washington, and we are now at Alexandria Bay. I'm sorry, Alexandria, not up here. Alexandria, 10 miles from Washington. We had good times. We stopped at Albany, had a good dinner. We came to Philadelphia. We had as nice a meal as I ever ate. I don't think his mother would appreciate it. We are in tent and are on the banks of the Potomac. There's some 40,000 soldiers in forts and tents. I've seen the Capitol. It is the nicest building that ever I expected to see. All our company seen it. So you have to realize what he's writing. If I use improper English, it's there. That's what he wrote. He said we was nearly 2 hours looking through it, and then we didn't see half of it. It's all marble. It has been a building that's 40 years, and it's not done yet. Rick is our captain, and I'm glad of it. Charles Knapp from Ward, second lieutenant, and McGuire from Plattsburgh is first lieutenant. I've seen a great deal of the world since I left home. Now, the next letter is, again from Alexandria, November 6, 1862. Dear Mother, there have been a number of Champlain boys here. Leander Mayette was here a day or two, and he looks well. And he says that Charlie Dodge is here also. And some of them here is a Duffy and a Fabria. The Duffy is spelled D-U-F-Y, and the Fabria is F-R-A-D-Y-A. Obviously not the correct spelling. And then he talks about a Freeman Bowen. Now, you know from Ross's Point there were Bowens here, and I don't know if it's the same one, same family or not.
And there's Ben and Freeman Bowler. He talks about money that he hasn't gotten. We'll have some money in a day or two. I suppose that way it'll be that we take our checks for as much as you want to send home. And he says here, they will send home one check. If it doesn't get home safely, they will give you another. There's no one to draw on except the one that it's written to. The next letter is from, again, Alexandria, November 15th, 1862. This time to his brother Fred. Now, let me tell you a little bit about James Lucas. James Lucas was an uncle to Broder Lucas. Broder's mother was sister to my grandfather Southwick. And we've got people right here that know Broder very well, knew Broder very well. This letter was written to Broder's father, Fred. First thing, we have pretty good living. We have fresh meat twice a week, and we have rice, beans, salt pork, beef, and sugar. We have plenty of candles so we can read and write until we are tired. Here's some more about the local people. Douglas. He spells it D-U-G-L-A-S. Kimberly thought probably it was D-O-U-G-L-A-S-S. An 8th corporal. He's a fellow by the name of Statia, S-T-A-T-I-A. And he talks critically about him all through these letters, saying he's homesick, he wants out of the army, he's going to try any way he can to get home. Anyway, that's the first mention. Freeman Bowron was here today. He and Maya, and they say Charlie Doris will be here this week. Tell Pa that I'm well, yeah, and I hope he is. That's about 1 or 2 times that he'll mention Charlie in any of these letters. I hear they're drafting in Champlain. If it's so, I'm afraid Charles will have to leave poor Libby as his wife, but I guess so be it. The next letter, again from Alexandria, November 27th, 1862. Again, written to his brother Fred. I'm not homesick yet, he says. I ran into Douglas again, and we saw Mr. Charlie Dodd. Doesn't say Dodd, it says Dodd. He was dressed, so he stayed with us all afternoon, and there were 4 of the 118 boys here at the same time, all from Champlain. They all look well. There's a Trudel, T-R-U-D-E-L, he spells it. Alex LeBlou, L-A-B-L-U. I tried to tell him to help me out with it. What might be. And Chubb LaFountain. Not LaFontaine, but LaFountain. He's in the cavalry in Washington. Harry Hubble. I'll tell you, Fred, it's not been very pleasant this past week. Nothing but mud and gutters, whatever that means. Next letter comes to his mother from Alexandria, December 23rd, 1862. I never expected to get 1/2 so much as the mother sent him a package. I will tell you, we had a good Christmas dinner, New Year's too. Again, he talks about a Ben Bowling. Freeman and Benjamin were here and seen us. Last Sunday I had a good time, one that I did not expect. You see, he was an Albert Cook. I don't know how we can place that Albert Cook. He said later on he was from the Champlain area. Then talks about Ben Rogers. And then later on, stayed overnight with a Eugene, U-G-E-A-N, Gilbert. And boys from home, Hubble, Pelka. Let me say Pelkey, but Pelka. A couple from Corbo. And probably was Coopersville, right? Would have been Corbo Creek? Yeah. And Corbo and a Gopi from Champlain. There are a good many sick in our regiment, but for me, I'm in good health. I've gained about 3 pounds since I left. You spoke about my using tobacco. I am no such fool, he said. The next letter is on January 15, 1863, from Washington, D.C. Dear Mother, you spoke to me telling Pa about attending the Congress. Well, I was just going to do it when I received your letter. I liked attending it very well. As you said, I wonder if it applies now. As you said, there are many good, smart speakers there. Then he talks again about not getting paid, but he says, sometime later we'll get paid. I saw Charlie Hubble, and Charlie Hubble said his brother re-enlisted. I think he was foolish. Sam Underhill's done the same. He got home on a furlough. Now he talks about this station again. This is on January 5th, 1863, from Camp Alexander. Dear Mother, I meant you, much as I meant you know that there were many sick in our regiment, and we had hospitals for them. There's a good many sick, and in the hospitals, we have a large building in the city, with some hospital tents on the ground. But there's so many sick, and very sick, to the place that the colonel was. Then he goes down and he talks again about Alexander Douglas. He says, Alexander Douglas says, I look better when we've been mustered in for a while. He says, since we've been here. Next letter is again from Camp Alexandria, and January 18, 1863. I now seat myself to write you a few lines in answer to your letter which I received on the 12th. All about the alarm that happened a spell ago. It was nothing more than Captain Rick came up from camp from the generals and gave orders to our colonel to give us all 40 rounds of cartridges, and so he did that. He goes on to say that they were ready for battle, but it did not take place, so they marched back. They were at that time near Fairfax. This one's January 22nd, 1863. I now, your brother, again, this could be Charles, or it could have been Rhoda's father. Anyway, he says, I now sit myself down to write a few lines to let you know how I'm getting along. We have been detached from the regiment for the purpose of taking soldiers that have been in hospitals and in a convalescent camp. Only a little ways from here. We go to this camp, get a squad of 200 or 300 at a time, and take them back to the regiments when they're ready to go. We have been told and praised for being the cleanest and best unit under our captain. Talks about Reed as one of his sergeants, and then he talks about a Robert Lucas, not related to Broder or not related to James, that and then a fellow by the name of Reed, that was from Plattsburgh. Our captain drew his pay today, and I hope we'll draw ours pretty soon. June 23rd, 1863. Dear brother, this time it's to Fred. That's Broder's father. They were fighting all around in every direction. I was out in front yesterday with our first lieutenant, 6 men, to take 200 down to their corps, and I will tell you where we went to. It was Union Mill, 7 miles above Fairfax Courthouse. We went as far as we could by train, and then couldn't go any further, but we did by foot. And we found Hooker's, Joe Hooker's headquarters. He raved about General Hooker all the way through this. And he's very upset, you'll see later on, when Hooker is replaced. I saw George Dobbs and Sam Underhill. Now, Fred, we expect some real hard fighting as we're getting in close quarters, and I don't know, but this last move will turn out for the best. But probably I'll see. If I don't get my neck broke before it is over. And I haven't had good luck so far. I hope it'll be harder on, too. Next letter is again from Alexandria, and January 29th, 1863. Our company was the best in the regiment. Every time we came on inspection, we had the praise of being the best. We expect some pay tomorrow, as they are paying the regiments next to it. You ever said that he really gets paid for everything? Alexander Douglas seen Robert Lucas, but it was our sergeant in our company that knew him, and that is from Plattsburgh. And he talks about the Bowens again, Freeman, and then another one called Lyman. Benny Rogers has been down and to see us, and I have been up there to see him. Our officers of the company are Lieutenant McGuire and Lieutenant Matt. McGuire will be captain. He's a good fellow. Captain Rich is Inspector General of Hospitals and camps. He thinks he'll be promoted to the rank of major. Now, the next one is again from Alexandria, and it's March 10th, 1863. I seat myself to write you a few lines. I have not much to do. I expect a letter from you before this time, but I will write this time. He gets unhappy with both of his brothers, Charles and Fred, for not writing more often. Alexander Douglas and I were on duty today, Ted as well, and all the rest of us. I suppose it is sugaring weather now there. I tell you, we've had a good orderly sergeant. He's one that has traveled a good deal. He knows more than ever Lieutenant Knapp will ever know. Doesn't like Knapp, that's for sure. First Lieutenant McGuire is a pretty good fellow. He's from Plattsburgh. If the orderly will be second lieutenant yet, I guess. But I expect to go on first grade with all of them. I've had very good times, as good as I could expect. I will tell you what we get to eat does this again. We have fresh meat twice a week, and pork the rest of the time, except once in a while they'll sneak in bacon instead of pork. We have coffee and tea, some potatoes, molasses to eat on rice. We live very well. If we don't live, it ain't because we don't get enough to eat. Next one is to his sister, Caroline. He's talking about his good health, and then down further he said, Caroline, you said you hoped that if I had any part in a battle, I would receive no injury. I do not know I will be in any battle very soon or not. Some thinks that we may stay here 3 months yet. But Fighting Joe Hooker says differently. He's going to take it through the Rebs. All the men like him well. Cyrus Kellogg has gone to his regiment yesterday. And says Emerson Smith is in convalescent hospital. Dear brother, this is on May 6, 1863. Dear brother, this is to Charles. I'll tell you that I get along soldiering very well so far, and all the Champlain boys are well. Charlie Dodge was here the other day, and John LaFont. It doesn't seem like John, it seems like John and Chubb were different, because he referred to Chubb twice, and John just one time. We had a good time with Charles. Old Joe Hooker is fighting like a good fellow in Fredericksburg. He sent a lot of prisoners here, the old Fredericksburg, and a lot of their rifle pits. So I think he must be doing very well. The next one is from June 10th, 1863, and written from Alexandria again. This is to his mother. There's a Captain Strange, a relation of Brinkerhoff's in Champlain. Can't handle a company well, now he's a major. Well, anyway, our beautiful Lieutenant Colonel Armstrong, the one that was going to fight for his country, what did he do but fill his pocket with money, and then he resigned? Alexandria, Virginia again, June 15th, 1863. To his mother. Lieutenant, his name is John McGuire. He's from Keysville. Our second lieutenant, again, Charles Knapp, from Wars. And we have a good orderly yet. His name is Thomas Breen. He could have been first lieutenant, but he wouldn't take it. He's a good fellow. He knows more than our second lieutenant. Poor Charlie Knapp doesn't have a chance. He wanted to know if the rebels had made that raid on our city. No, they have not. He wanted to know if I had hard work. Well, I'll let you know. We've had good times, and we expect to have. Again, to his mother, July 1st, 1863. Most of the people think that the rebels have moved into a trap. I hope it is. And we'll stir up the north maybe to do more duties and soon wipe them out. But now he's upset. He says, they see he got a new commander for the Army of Potomac and relieved Hooker. Well, I do not know, but I don't think it's right. I would think if they would send a good quantity of men out here this summer, would finish this war, for I know there is men enough to whip the South sky high. Now he talks about moving into an area where the rebels are in Harper's Ferry. It doesn't talk about any action. This next letter is August 8th, 1863, to his mother from Washington, D.C. There were 3 days drafting. They got a good many, and it went off lovely. You heard about them. You wanted to know how my health was. Well, it's very good, though I'm a little thin. I had good time so far. You said that Charles, his brother, paid $300 for conscription. People know what conscription is. Back, at least in the Civil War, you could pay somebody $300 to take your place. There are a couple of Southwicks up in Moore's Forks that did that. I won't tell you their names. You also got in trouble for swearing in your Presbyterian church. That's my sidetrack. I was told not to be sidetracked. Anyway, he said, even though he paid that $300, another draft comes up, he's going to be drafted again. So, this one is, next letter, and it's not dated, it was to Rhoda's father, Fred. Well, Fred, our regiment has got marching orders, and probably will have to move, but I do not know yet where. Well, Freeman Bowron has been over to see us, and he looks well, tough as ever. If our company does not go with the regiment, Alexander Douglas and I are going over to Washington to see Freeman and Charlotte. It's only an hour's ride from the city of Alexandria. Next letter is March 1st, 1864. The regiment was sent there shortly after it. This date, August 8, 1863, was the last letter that I have from him. So in the meantime, they were transferred to New Orleans. I now seat myself to write you a few lines to let you know we have arrived safe this far. We just left the boat this morning, quite a bustle, an old building. I'll be able to tell you what we'll be doing. I will not be able to tell you what we're doing this time. We are situated on the opposite side of the river from New Orleans at a place called Algiers. It's an old rough building. Everything is cheap and it's a nice place. It's a rough building, but it's a nice place. We have nice views of plantations. Boy, he said there's a lot of rich men in this part of the country. I will tell you the voyage is worth something to a man. I could not tell how many things I saw on the route going down the Mississippi. The ports I took particularly notice of, and the weather was quite calm and nice. You may tell Pa, that's the second time you talked about Pa. You may tell Pa that I think I've been something like a mile from a towel's tail this time. Obviously, another comment that he doesn't care too much for the farm. Mississippi River is beautiful. If it is only healthy, I would like to live here. Douglas and Hubble are well, and they're with us. This next is from Grand Shore Landing. It's in Louisiana, April 18, 1864. We are now on what you might call rough shoulders, though my health is good. I'm not quite as fleshy as I was a few months ago. I hope that is not true about Chubb the Fountain. He doesn't say what he means by not true, whether he's been injured, or he's been killed, or that he's had some other problems. Charlie Hubble is at our provost marshal in New Orleans. Well, Charlie, we've been on a roving expedition ever since 15th of March. Some days we marched 16, 20 miles a day, and it happened on the 8th of April and the 13th. Army Corps came onto the rebels. They had an awful long wagon train, and they got hold of them, and our corps was ordered up to support the 13th, or it would have been bad luck. But I think they might have ordered up our corps before they had struck tents, and they saved, Nicole was saved. Some of the regiments of the 13th are small now. Our troops fought well, and that night we had been on our corps train, guarding the regiment. Next day, the Rebs were heard to say that they were going to attack again. Well, we all got as far as we could going that night, about 18 miles from where we came from, when the words came. We would expect our division to lay in a ravine. By the time the firing was going fast, the balls whistling well on the Rebs. We took a few prisoners, and all the musketry that one ever heard of it was, take the smoke was so thick. There was some shells on both sides. Our line was relieved at dusk and the firing ceased. We got the best that day. Next letter is from Steamship Crescent, July 9th, 1864. I left with the regiment from Morgantia, Louisiana, 1st of July. Our orders are to be shipped back to the north. Being Sunday, we got off and had time to have a meal. And it goes on to say that we're headed to Fort Monroe, Virginia. I think it's a good time. We have now been 9 days coming. The 2 Hubble boys are with us as well. But Charlie had hard work to stand the climate. He says also in there that he is glad to get out of Louisiana. It's too hot. Doesn't want to be there. This is on August 25th, 1864. Dear brother, I will now tell you what we have been doing for the past few days. Last Sunday, we were about 4 miles above Charleston, and I was down to the brook washing about 10 o'clock in the day when I heard some skirmishing. It was not long until the cannons opened. So I hurried to camp, and it was not long until we were in line and on the move. The 6th Corps laying on our right, and our division moved to the right of Charlestown. Then in the rear of the 6th, they fighting like good fellows. The rebels thought to surprise us, come full force on the picket, and the 6th fell into line double quick and drove them back and held the ground, we being in the rear. We had breastworks, and I had to look that up. You military people know what breastworks is? It's like a trench, only it's a shallow trench, probably just enough. You'll know what it is, Bill, right? Anyway, that's what they thought. And this was from Alton, Virginia. There was left was skirmishing today. We have all breastworks up along the line. We may be at it before night. I thought today that it was curious that Charles Carter would not come to see me. This is another local person. And didn't come to see me, but he says, I found out he was wounded in the shoulder and was back in the dispensary. We have 2 lines of battle here opposite the ferry. Now the next letter is from Harrisonburg, Virginia. I now take the pleasure of writing you a few lines to let you know that I'm still alive, as I would suppose you were very anxious to hear how I am since our engagement of the 19th. It was a severe battle, and our regiment was in the hottest of it. I will tell you that our company lost 3 killed, 11 wounded, and 1 lieutenant. But we drove them like sheep from the field. It was the first time I ever saw the rebel flags running. The 4 Johnnies lay thick in the field with their heads in waist down. We charged an open field 3 times with 5 pieces of artillery. We had not so good a position this day, but we took a lot of prisoners and drove them about 2 miles from the field and finally lay down and took our sleep after dark. The next day we followed them. They said they were going to make a stand at Strasburg. We got there on the 21st and drove them from there. After some skirmishing, they fell back to Fisher's Hill, where we had breastworks. We built strong works that night, and next morning went to skirmishing with them as they had breastworks in our front. About 4 o'clock, the order was given to charge them as of the skirmish line, and they did with a yell, and if you'd see them run to the second line of defense. It goes on and more about the shooting in that particular area, and it says here, we kept until daylight marching, and we came to a town called Woodstock, where we halted and stayed until 12 o'clock. They were coming from all quarters, including squads and guards. We came on about 12 miles and encamped. The cavalry was on ahead and had engaged them and fell back. So the next day we came on to them about 3 o'clock. They, having received some 5,000 reinforcements, they meaning the rebels, took the rear, but we soon made them up quick. About 5 o'clock, our regiment relieved the skirmish line in front of the brigade and was going on pretty brisk. We blazed at them, and they at us, until morning. We was skirmish line, and we saw 2 dead graves. We marched all day at a good jog and came to this town and encamped. There's over 1,000 wounded in hospitals in this town. We were going to Lynchburg. We're about 60 miles from the first battlefield. That's the last letter that he wrote. The next letter comes from his captain to his mother. And it's from Cedar Run, Virginia. Cedar Creek was where the battle was. He lost his life. And some of you aren't real familiar. We stopped, Steve and I stopped last year. Mark has been a couple of times. Cedar Creek, and it's still, the breastwork tunnels or channels or ditches are still there. And the sign, it's not too well marked, but it's marked, so you can see it. It's right off 81? Northwestern Virginia. So this is a letter from the captain. The letter, Mrs. Lucas. The letter of 28th of last month to your son James was received by me yesterday. As Jimmy is not now in the regiment, nor do I know where to direct it, I thought I would tell you all I know about it. He was hit by a musket ball in the back of his head and fell forward on his face in the morning of 19th of October. I thought surely he was dead. The rebels were too close on him. We were retreating at the time and did not dare stop, or any of my men to stop and pick him up for fear of being taken prisoner. In the evening, we drove the enemy and occupied our camp long enough to get our meals. But the rebels surprised us, and we had hardly time to get out of our tents before the rebels were in our camp shooting us down. We followed the rebels to Strasburg, 3 miles from here that night. Did not come back to camp until the 21st. And then the doctor of the regiment said he had seen Jimmy. He was in a hospital, and he was wounded in the back of his head and his elbow. The doctor said he did not dare amputate his arm for fear that it would kill him. He did not think Jimmy would live. The doctors in the Army are kind of like today, don't they? Doctors in the Army are not always correct in their opinion. Some die, they think, and some others live that they think are going to die. It's not a humorous situation, but I have to throw that in. I do not know where Jimmy is now. I have not heard from him since he was wounded and sent to Martinsburg. As soon as I hear from or about him, I will let you know. James was a good soldier, and I always thought he was a good Christian. He attended church at every opportunity. The next letter, and that was written November 7th, and the next letter also was November 7th. This one is written by the assistant surgeon. Mrs. Margaret Lucas, dear madam, your letter of October 27th was received today, and our chaplain is absent. I take the liberty of answering you regarding your son James. I did not see him after he was wounded, but have conversed with a number of persons who saw him at the hospital at Newton, Virginia. He was wounded in the right arm in the early part of the engagement, and while going to the rear, as our forces were retreating before the enemy, he was hit again by a bullet in the back part of his head, which passed downwards into the base of his brain, cutting off the optic nerve and producing certain loss of vision. Dr. Snow told me that he saw him a few minutes before he, Dr. Snow, left Newton the day of the battle. He was still alive, but little prospect of recovery. I'm well acquainted with your son, and you bear evidence to the fact that a braver man did not exist in the 153rd Regiment. He was respected by every officer in the regiment, and he had not been severely wounded in late battle, but undoubtedly had received a commission. I can assure you, madam, I sympathize deeply with you in your loss of your son, but he then puts in quotation, he's not sure, he said, but will make every effort to gain intelligence. I was wounded myself and taken prisoner early on in that fatal morning, about 19th of October. Succeeding in making my escape, I had rejoined my poor, shattered regiment. I found them in the same position they occupied in the morning. They were the last to leave the breastworks in the morning and the first to plant their colors on their works in the evening. Any further information I can give you regarding James will be given, and candidly, as sent along as candidly as possible. Now, this is a letter. This is from the chaplain. It's written on February 2nd, 1865. So the battle is, remember, the 19th of October. October, November, December, January, February. 4 months, and she hasn't really any not only his whereabouts, but his health. I received from Captain McGuire a letter addressed to him dated January 19, in which he made inquiry concerning your son, the state of mind at the time of his death. He knows at that time where he's going to be killed. You also state that you wrote to the chaplain of this regiment and received an answer from Dr. Sweeney, that's the surgeon I'm talking about. As I was absent on sick leave when your letter reached the regiment and was unable to return for several weeks, I presume the doctor forgot to mention to me on my arrival that it had received an answer. I was well acquainted with your son and was with him during the Battle of Cedar Creek and immediately after the engagement, and was for several days after the engagement was for several days at Newton with our wounded. I helped carry your son to the hospital, and it was my privilege to do all my power to render our wounded comfortable and minister to their wants. The noble boy was apparently resigned and bore up under his suffering, but the heroism was proof that he was brave in the hospital as upon the battlefield. During the 3 days and nights that I was with them, I found the surgeons every way in their power providing for the wants and toiling earnestly and faithfully in addressing the wounds of those under their charge. Your son received every attention that could be given, and I was greatly grieved when the tidings of his death reached me. Worried and sick myself, and compelled soon after the battle to return to my home. For this reason, I regret I can give you no definite information concerning his death and state of mind at that time. Of this you can rest assured, but he was faithful in discharging his duties as a soldier, and beloved by his companions associated throughout the regiment, who deeply mourn his loss. Trusting that he who orders all things well, who heareth his children when they cry, will pour out upon you his richest blessings, and bind up your wounds and cheer and comfort you in deep bereavement. Well, I'm sure that's consolation, but to go several months and not know what's happened to the child had to be troublesome. But there was nothing more that I knew about later on about how nor did Roder ever tell me anything more. In fact, I didn't know about these letters. Jimmy, his son, who lives in Hawaii, called us one day and said, my father's got a bunch of stuff in the safety deposit box in Key Bank in Plattsburgh. Would you go down and open it up and see what's there? Joanne says to me, you gotta know Broder, right? You gotta know Broder. Joanne says to me, you better bring a couple of $100 because it must be past due. But I'll tell you the best part about Broder is that this man was a smart man, not just because he's a relative, but he was so well read and knew so many different people and would take you anywhere that you wanted and could do most everything. The best part of him was, I'm getting sidetracked, but I knew that. The best part of Broder was that he could go from the East Coast to the West Coast in his car and not spend a dime. He knew where everybody was along the way. He even went to the gas stations along the way. But he could do the same thing for people if they came to visit Perry's Mills, or if they came to visit Hawaii. He put you up, no expense. But anyway, he never told me much about it. So we went down, got open the box, and Jimmy said he wanted a couple of things. I think there was a ring that his grandmother had, the Lord told him about, and he told me that these letters were there. And he said, take the letters, read them, let me know what you think, and I'll decide whether I want them or not. That was 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I called Jimmy, wrote to him, never heard from him. I don't know if anybody hears from him now or not. But anyway, we have the letters, and I didn't bring the originals along with me tonight, but if anybody's really interested in looking at the originals, or having we have copies of this that I talked about tonight in our library in Champlain. So if anybody's seriously interested in researching Civil War, it's there, the copy's there, or if anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'll show you the originals. They're in acid free envelopes, and they're accessible. You have them. that's part of it. Now, any questions about this? I covered it as best as I could. There are lists here of, let me, Roller wrote down the name. He actually, and I can even have somebody make copies of it, he read the letters himself. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know, because he never told me about the letters. But this these handwritten notes of his, a little bit better writing than mine, we're in that safety deposit box, and he makes comments about each one of the letters. As I said, there are 60 of them. And he makes a note and writes down the local people that his Uncle Jimmy ran into. We talked about Knapp, McGuire, LePage, the two Bowens, Myatt, Dodge, Duffy, Fabray, I don't know what that is. Douglas, we talked about, Freeman's again, Alec LeBeau, Chubb LaFountain, Charlie Hubble, Ben Bowlen, Benjamin Bowlen, Albert Cook, Burgett, Fish, Ben Rogers, Eugene Gilbert, Hubble, Pelka, Koki. I think the Pelkey might have been a Pelka. But he says these two were from Corbel. Alexander Douglas, Sancha Brown, I didn't mention that one. I don't know that that would be related to any of the Sancha Brands over here, but it's spelled differently. Reed, Eugene Gilbert, Cyrus Kellogg, Emerson Smith, John LaFountain, different from Chuck. So anybody wants to look at these, you're fine. Now stop for a minute. I got a couple other things. Unless you're getting bored, take time. I'll go on to a couple other things if you want, if you're satisfied with me going on here. Okay. Take a back.